The trajectory of Lakeith Stanfield's career, he goes from playing Judas and Judas in the Black Messiah to the actual Messiah in the Book of Clarence. First of all, this film was directed by music producer James Samuel. This is his sophomore feature film, and this film was produced by Sean J.Z. Carter and James Lasseter. Now, let me get into this cast. The cast of the Book of Clarence is outstanding. I mean, it is as stacked as they come. Lakeith Stanfield, Omar Sy, R.J. Seiler, Anna Jopp, David Oyelowo, Michael Ward, the legend Alfre Woodard, Tiana Taylor, the legend Marianne Jean Baptiste, Caleb McLaughlin, James McAvoy, Benedict Cumberbatch. Stacked beyond measure. This film is going to surprise you. Now, you got to give it a chance. I know there's a lot of chatter online inferring that this film is blasphemous and exegetes the Holy Bible, and it really doesn't. It's none of that. I find that it is a reflection of how we messiahize celebrities, really. How we messiahize people, even in this day. Look at Trump. He can do no wrong to his followers, the people who believe that, I mean, many have called him the second coming, have they not? And despite the wrong that you can clearly see, they have built this public persona that is nearly unimpeachable. And I think in this day and age, as we move into the age of Aquarius, a lot of that is going to come shattering down. And many of these people are going to have to go through their own redemption arc. The Book of Clarence follows this young man. He's a drug dealer named Clarence, played by Lakeith Stanfield. His brother is an apostle, one of the 12 apostles that follows. He's on a pilgrimage with Jesus. At this point, he is on the rise. Most people don't know. They have heard of a Messiah, but they don't know that it is this person. So it's easy for Clarence to prey upon vulnerable people in community and villages because they don't have access to Jesus Christ. And so, because he owes a debt to this strip club owner, he has to come up with some money in a short period of time or pay with his life. And so he comes up with the harebrained scheme to become a Messiah who can perform miracles. And he uses his sidekick to perform these miracles. And he goes on his own pilgrimage as a false prophet, bilking or scamming these believers out of money because of their vulnerability. So it's not eisegeting the Bible at all. I think you could name a celebrity and say, okay, they're Clarence, really. But I think this is such a brilliant film, but I don't think it's going to catch on anytime soon. I think this is the type of film that in a few years, maybe 5 years, people are going to grow to appreciate because there's so much to chew on here. There really is. But I think eventually it will resonate. Even like over time, the Ten Commandments and Ben-Hur became one of the in the canon of greatest films of all time. They were included. I look back on it, and those films don't resonate with me, but I can understand why people think it's so filmic because of the times they were in. And I find like one day this film is going to be rediscovered in that light. Now, Lakeith Stanfield is so brilliant in this film. I think director James Samuel is pulling out some of Lakeith Stanfield's greatest work. He's really tapping into or proving that this is going to be an eventual Oscar winner. Lakeith has it, and he proves it here in this film. He is so versatile and can really dig in deep and become a character, disappearing as himself. And that is a gift that a lot of people just don't have. He is great here. Now, I do have a gripe, and it's the accents. So, the cadence of the dialogue, the accent historically doesn't work for me. And I wonder why they chose to use European accents. Just about everybody in this film uses a European accent, and most of them aren't European. So I don't understand why they chose that, but I could understand why they didn't use the accents of these medieval times, because that might have distracted more from the larger story, and it might not have been as accessible to wider audiences. So this is a stickler of mine. I'm a stickler for accents, but this didn't depreciate the film for me. I did still enjoy it despite the accents. The visuals, cinematically, this film is beautiful. I love the set design on location. It looked real. I love the costumery. It looked historic. It looked like this is what was worn back in that time. I loved seeing all of the beautiful Black people on screen. I felt represented. I love what Jay-Z said in one of his interviews recently. He said, they made The Harder They Fall to see us, Black folk, in Westerns. And they made this film to see us, Black folk, in the New Testament. And that really resonated with me. Now, a lot of people, especially on social media, have been saying that they are exhausted with trauma porn as it relates to Black movies and wanted something different. And I think this is the answer to that. I think what director James Samuel did with The Harder They Fall and this film is giving us that something extra, so that Spike Lee can't be the only brilliant filmmaker that we have. Truth be told, there are a lot of upcoming filmmakers like director James Samuel who are giving us the movies we are yearning for, to show us how we can be represented in all different facets of life. And I love that. Now, the soundtrack, I did listen to the soundtrack on Spotify before I saw this movie, and isolated from the movie, the soundtrack, I wasn't feeling it, but in the movie, the soundtrack works. It pairs so nicely with the scenes and the scenery and the concept, the story overall. It works. Director James Samuel is singing a lot in this movie, and he produced the music. The musical production is so great and so grand. You know, he is Seal's brother. So you can hear, it sounds like Seal in many of the songs. I think what he did with the score and the music works. This could have been easily been a musical, and it would have worked all the same. The humor works, the farcical comedy of it all works. I love Benedict Cumberbatch's turn. It was really funny how his character's journey unfolded. This is a good movie. Now, it's not going to be for everyone, and you might have to see it a couple of times to really get it, but I would recommend this film. I think it is one of the best of 2024. The Book of Clarence is currently in theaters now.